to WFSO Aftermath. Although you're probably gonna see it a little bit later than usual, and like I told people that's watching it live on YouTube or live on Twitch that the subjects that we're gonna talk about, and also stuff that's just been going on like with wrestling, Milwaukee development, Bucks talk, and also we're gonna talk about how much did the Thunderbolts have made worldwide, and plus in the states. So I'm gonna do like a full review on the Thunderbolts because I did see it yesterday. So I will do like a full review on that tomorrow. Um, so just stay tuned for that. Um, I think oh yeah, we just talked about like update like stuff in development stuff like that, and I keep saying that I was going to put like another development video up, so I'm going to probably end up doing it tomorrow because I think it's like too late in the day or what I was wanting to do, so we're not going to do that. But anyways, let's just get to it. The wrestling will be the topic. Um, y'all know they did their releases this past Friday, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of talk that's going on with the worst wrestling reporter on planet Earth, Dave Mesner. So okay, okay, they also 28 talents had left the company this far in 2025, and I think some of them did not get like a fair chance, in my opinion. So it was just crazy. Um, of course, we know about Duke Huston get released like in February. So we knew about that one. Blair Davenport, of course, she got released in February, which just crazy. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, could have been some use for them, but I guess TKO just didn't think so. Um, Cedric Alexander, I think he ended up, I think he ended up actually, oh, okay. So they did release him, although he was like on the verge to be like, I want to leave anyway. So they meant just let him go. So you'll probably see him in AEW sometime this month. So just watch out for that. But I think most likely he'll probably will be in AEW. Complete the members of the Hurt Syndicate. So that will make sense. Giovanni Vinci, they're not doing much with him. They took him out of Imperium. I don't know why, and they end up just decide have him go solo, which they only did like a little bit of thing with him. Then it just like went down because it ain't like what they want to do with them. It's like they're not suddenly, oh, okay, you're gonna have him win like a few matches, then have him be on this big losing streak. Like seriously, you gotta let some of these guys push them up and stuff like that. Like seriously, Authors of Pain and Paul Aaron, they mother say WWE kind of ruined their tag division with getting rid of them, and there's really not much of a tag division. Well, there's some on SmackDown, but it's like with Raw, it's not that much of a tag teams going on. So yeah, I don't get that, and I know they was on the Raw brand too, so that would have helped out a lot. Cause like what you got, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, which you're not using them. Then you have let's see, you have of course the New Day that just won the tag titles, and you also got War Raiders. So they just need like a few more tag teams or something like that. So it's just ridiculous. Wow, Channel 12 won Station of the Year. Wow, and they won everything else too. Gee, I wonder why. Anyways, yeah, Sonya Deville was a pretty shock, but I don't think she. No, they didn't like release her. She ended up, they just said that okay, we're not gonna, resign. They're not going to resign her, so they kind of like in a way just like let her go. So I don't know. She's just taking a little bit time off and stuff like that. But yeah, I understand. They didn't do nothing with her. They didn't make her like a women's tag team. but it kind of sucks because she does have a lot of potential, but it doesn't seem like that. Oh, thank you. Hey, what's up, Galliport? Name Marshanza. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Hello. Um, let's see, cause Sonya Deville, they just didn't sign her they just didn't resign her and just let her go. So she could have joined anywhere if she wanted to. So that's one thing. Isa Dunn could have been helpful for more of the women's tag team along with I can't even remember her name. It will get to me. It will get to me. She was formerly known as Kaylee Ray. But she oh yeah, Abba Fire. Thank you. It was just on there. So they were once the NXT tag champs. Then they did that combination with the titles. Then could have been on the run for the WWE tag titles, but unfortunately they let her go, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Oh Lord, but I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyways, yeah, Electra Lopez is another one. I thought she was doing good with the Lego Phantasma, but yeah, just let her go too. And I don't understand that. So, hopefully, she gets somewhere and somebody will sign her because for most of these people that got fired in February, their 90-day clause, well, 90 days non compete is almost over. It's gonna be over like sometime this month. I think it's gonna be like the middle of the month, I believe. So you'll have a surprise. Some the wrestlers jump in like I'm talking about wrestling right now. We're talking about the releases that WWE has done so far this year. Plus we're gonna be talking about a little bit of the Bucks. Talk about these Giannis rumors and stuff like he's getting traded and stuff like that. Also we're gonna talk about the Thunderbolts and how much they made this past weekend by their numbers. Then just talk about development stuff that's going on with Milwaukee so far. So right now we just talking about the WWE releases. Um, but yeah, just keep in mind that there could be possible that some of these players that got some of these wrestlers got released in February. So like any day they could probably gonna sign somewhere. And like let's see, you got AEW's Devil not then this not this week, but I think it's like a couple of weeks from today. Then you got Under Siege. I think that's gonna be like two weeks from Friday. So going to see a couple of things. Maybe some wrestlers probably will make their surprise and see what happens with that. I think now they're gonna talk about who they recently released this Friday. Braun Strowman was one of them, and I'm like pretty shocked that they let him go. But and here's the thing, like Braun and EC3 was going to make their own, federation called like Create the Narrative, and like I think they was on the verge of do a show here, but then again, suddenly Braun Strowman got the call that brought him back. So yeah, and they started just in that control your narrative thing. Um, that's just crazy. That they let him go, and this was the reason why they let Braun Strowman go because they was paying him too much, and he wasn't worth what we're gonna do with him. Like seriously, like there's plenty to do with him. Like, supposed to make it's like you got all these big and tall guys, and you trying to like, and they're supposed to be dominant. Like seriously, let them have a dominant run. You still got Omos that new Marvel film has. Okay, so what I read was true. So of course it was probably the number one movie in the United States, the Thunderbolts. So they probably gonna say that. Don't know if it's number one worldwide, but we will read into that. But anyway, so we found out that Braun Strowman was getting paid 1.2 million a year, which is a good salary. And it's like, but then again, like business, they trying to be cheap and stuff like that. It's just insane. So I'm pretty sure here in Wisconsin we're gonna see him again. Probably with maybe with a few feds, like few independent shows like around here. So I think Brown would be fine. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like you want to hire him back, then suddenly you want to release him because your writers are too lazy to do something for him, and not putting it, and people like up top ain't putting enough of an effort, for putting him as he should be. But this one's another shocking too, Dakota Kai. So she was released this past Friday. So some people was thinking, because of multiple injuries that she have, and they I guess they claimed that it was just enough. And the only thing she claimed to winning, as they say on here, the NXT Women's Tag Titles. She won it twice. Um, let's see, and plus she won it again with Io Sky being the okay, yeah, two rings as WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. So it's just like seriously, it's just like really, then try to push her up to have her win her singles title, and you have like people behind her, and it's just recently that okay, just let her go. Just ridiculous. This was another one shocker too. Shayna Baszler. So yeah, it was the end of an 8-year run for her, and you know, um, two-time NXT Women's Champion, multiple-time Women's Tag Champ, and couldn't get like a world, no, not like a world women's title or like women's title, period. And she could be like the very very legit woman that can beat anybody up, especially had a MMA background, and just like seriously, she was good. She was good at her role, and I just don't get why they decided let her go. But she did make like an appearance at a GCW's Bloodsport that was going on a few weeks ago. With WWE working with like certain promotions, so I don't get. So I guess like what this leave for Zoe Stark. Um, Hopefully they can do something with her, and plus all these like stuff she putting out on X. It's just one of those things like you want to see. So hopefully, she gets like that going and stuff. And okay, yeah, another tag team that they could have used and just whatever, which is Katana Chance and Caden Carter. So yeah, I'm pretty shocked about this one. They did win. Of course they were the NXT Women's Tag Champs, and they was also the WWE Women's Tag Champs. I think they only had to hold the WWE Women's Tag title for like about a few months, and I think NXT Women they hold it a little bit longer than that. But it's just really puzzling. Um, of course, Caden Carter and both Katana Chance they did took part of the the Mae Young Classic, which I don't know, but especially Katana Chance she ended up being one of my favorites, especially she competed in God, what's that show that they do, American Ninja Warrior. So she was part of that before WWE assigned her. So we were thinking like, okay, let's see they're gonna do something, and this is like what she can do and stuff like that was very amazing. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't get they just act like they just couldn't write them like a story and something like that. Okay, And another one, Cora J. NXT, and plus she was back and forth, doing like stuff with TNA. Since TNA and NXT are working together, sharing some of their roster, and NXT sharing their roster with TNA, and TNA vice versa. We was hoping she was going to be one of the few that was going to get called up, but she wasn't. So the good thing about people that the wrestlers that currently that was in NXT, they only have like a 30-day contact clause. So that's good for them, and especially you never know. Maybe Cora J. I know she changed her name now to her original like wrestling name, and especially being from Chicago, she's going to get a lot of bookings in that area. So it's one of those things like you ain't gonna worry about, but she's gonna be like a big name for those companies that's gonna be like from in the Chicago area. So yeah, there's a lot of like wrestling promotion in Chicago, and they are lucky, to have a lot of those promotions. There's like some of them I even want to go to and never got the didn't get the chance to. I only think I went to one. Yeah, and that was like a long time ago, and that was it Freelance or Dreamwave? It was one of the two, Dreamwave or Land. So it was one of the two. It was at the Logan Square Auditorium. But not worried about Cora J. But she's actually she's gonna bounce back. In June, she'll find some. Well, I wouldn't say she wouldn't like not find anywhere, but she will bounce back, and some. There'll be teams that actually well the I should say the big national companies will be interested in her. Like I don't think she should go to AEW because she did try there and didn't have that much of a chance, especially development that she has now. I think her best bet would be TNA. So you know what, TNA sign her. They strengthened up more of your women's division, especially with the tag team. So and you got a lot of tag teams in the women's division in TNA. Well, especially you using some NXT too. So maybe or just get like a solo title for her. Yeah, this was I was really surprised of after Tuesday on NXT. The Metaphor has decided do their own thing. But you think it was Kachara Jackson was gonna still team up with Last Legend, go for the women's tag titles, but she got let go, and Oro Mensah, y'all saw him. He was in NXT UK, then came here, and looked like they was doing something with him last year. Since Nora Dar was nowhere to be found. So I understand. They was gonna do their sort of careers, but they decided to release them too, and Nora Dar just came back and won back the Heritage Cup title from Lester's King. So yeah, I'm just I was another one that was really shocked for. But then again, with them two, they have like a 30-day no contact clause, and after that, they can do whatever. So I think they will have a chance. Maybe TNA or AEW, either one of them would be like good for either one. Um, Javier Benraw, and yeah, I'm pretty shocked about this one too. And I'm thinking that they could have something good. Yeah, like I said, it could have been something with them. And of course, with his cockiness and all that stuff, and well, it was good for his character. Riley Osborne, I'm really pretty shocked about that one too, and I thought he was doing good too, and could have been a surprising star, good high flyer, and like I said, what the hell? So what more can you do? So somebody will be happy, to have them. Yeah, this is what I was shocked about too. Gigi Dolan. I thought them three, but Taylor Paxi is still there, so I guess they see something in her. But Shotty, they wasn't really using her, and it kind of sucks because there were some people that they was not cheering her, and they recently after her comeback from injury they sent her down to NXT, and with those three it was successful, but I guess WWE just didn't see otherwise. So Gigi Dolan got a 30-day non-contact clause. Also, well, not Shotty Hat Blackheart. She was they was not going to renew her contract. So I think it was it was just up, and they were just like, no, we're not going to resign her. So yeah, but I think she can do better anyway. So except for them, maybe they can too come in as like a tag team for maybe TNA. Gigi Jones' boyfriend, Zachary Wentz, is there, so why not? So one of those things, just like wait and see. Um, yeah, this was a pretty shocker too because suddenly, you end up putting Gallus into freaking Evolve for what? This is one of the things that's just like you just puzzle yourself like why? Why? Kind of like one of those things you like, just want to rip your head off and thinking like, yeah. Like, Joe Coffey and Wolfgang both had, I think a few times the NXT tag titles, and they also were the NXT UK champions. But sad for like Marv Coffey, he hasn't got like a singles title or anything. It's just it's just crazy. They just really didn't try anything with some of these. It's just like they ain't try anybody with some of these guys, and like just ridiculous. But then again, them three got a 30-day non-contact clause, so somebody might sign them. You never know. I didn't know that much about Danny Palmer, so it's like one of those things. Is like you don't know what they was gonna try with them and stuff. Okay, she signed with the promotion after a tryout in 2022 and debuting in the loss against Steve Hale. Okay. Um, Part of the 20 Women Battle Royal in 2023. She was entering the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. Came up short of the first round. Okay, so she was okay there in February during the Evolve and lost to Kelly Armstrong. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. And her departure and retirement. Okay. So most likely she's done. Oh, she was dating Tank. Okay. Okay, she has worked as a fitness instructor before her WWE career. So, three-time national champion in the acrobatics and tumbling at Baylor University. Yeah, maybe we should go back to that. This one, Eddie Thorpe, I'm not surprised, and because after going like for the championship against Trick Williams at the time, so it was like one of those things, like they wasn't using him after that, and it's like really, why not? So why not another guy that got like a 30-day compete call? So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So y'all get a chance, y'all comment below like who you think which departure that you got upset with the most. Mine's where actually was Braun Strowman, but like every single one of them I was upset with, but I think it was Braun Strowman that I was upset with the most because of the reason behind it. And because he was a Wisconsin native or anything like that, but it's just the way they just try. We thought with TKO owning them, they would be better than how Vince McMahon was running them. But the stuff that I've been talking about, with the issues with doing pay-per-views up here in Milwaukee, like they kind of skip past that, and also with these releases, right now WWE is looking bad. I'm like, they still doing good, with the crowds and stuff like that, but there's gonna be a point, the crowd is gonna turn on them for not just these releases, especially like you had the opportunity, to have, do like the PLE events in like small market cities like Milwaukee, and you turn your tail and try and make an excuse and be like, no, we're not gonna do it. So it's like, seriously? I don't know, but it's like how much you can show for certain places that all they gonna see is Raw or SmackDown, twice or 3-4 times a year, and it's like there's nothing else they're gonna go on. So I know it's all about money, but just for once, if you can make money at other places too. So not always, cater to these big market cities. Which just gets me, upset about that. That you constantly catering to these big market cities, and not everybody gonna always want to like go down to like what they did with WrestleMania. Because the plan was, they was gonna do it in Minnesota. Then suddenly, it all changed and like, okay, we're gonna do it in Vegas. No, like if it was in Minnesota this year, I was definitely was gonna go. But then again, they made up for not Minnesota, and they did when they announced like WrestleMania in Vegas. Then like a few months later, they told Minnesota they worked out they was gonna host SummerSlam next year, like a 2-day event. So I will be going to that because we have friends that's in Minnesota, and why not? I don't know if any of the lot in Wisconsin is gonna be going, but it's like one of those things. Like we'll wait and see. Um, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's like anything else that we anything that's interesting besides talking about the releases. Oh, that's funny because everybody else is upset with The Rock is because he didn't show up at WrestleMania, and on the Pat McAfee show, I think it was like a week later, he explained why he didn't show up, and I guess he thought that he wasn't needed and was no point in him being there, and like Elimination Chamber, he done his thing, and after that, that was it. Um, I'm with the crew that's just like wrong, like because it's like you sent Travis Scott that wasn't doing much of anything, then suddenly I guess some people were kind of upset, how it played. So it would have been more interesting, The Rock would have interfered, then Cena would have won by then. But Travis Scott interfered, then Cody Rhodes, did a crossroads on him, then Cena with the low blow and hit him with the title and pinned him. So you was thinking like maybe he would hit a low blow, then Cena would have did the attitude adjustment on him. That would have been it. Maybe that would have been a little bit better, but I don't know. Just some people were upset, and I guess they were promoting The Rock out there too. Like The Rock has come back to Las Vegas. They did have T-shirts that we finally saw. Like what was it like few days ago? So in a way, you can be upset. He was supposed to show up and he didn't. And I guess it's the same thing. When WWE had Survivor Series in Vancouver, months back, Cody Rhodes was supposed to be there, but he wasn't. So yeah. So I guess I can understand, both sides when it comes to, the getting mad for, The Rock and all that stuff. So I can understand. Excuse me. Additional details. Okay, we already know about. I think you already know about this. They coming up with freestyle wrestling with Hogan, Bischoff, and thing is the guy's name is Izzy, I believe, who was a wrestler and also a MMA fighter. So y'all probably already know about that, and they're gonna kick off their show August 30th in Cleveland. So good thing for Cleveland. They can do something there. So pretty good. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, what are they gonna do with Alexa Bliss? They can't just let her just sit there in the shelves. It's like really, unless there could be things she may ask for a little bit of time off, take care of her kid, which is understandable. Oh yeah, Adam Copeland can get his name back because WWE has they did not kept paying for the name of Edge, so they let that go. Let's see. Okay, let's not talk about I know I need to catch up with Collision and Dynamite, so got to figure that out. Wait a minute. Okay, I didn't hear about this one because they already mentioned in Crown Jewel is going to be in Australia for October. Now they saying they're gonna have Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, but then again, they say they was gonna do one Saudi Arabia show this year because they're gonna have two of them next year, including freaking I'm sorry, because you got money. Okay, so let's see what they're saying. We was thinking they may have King and Queen in the ring since they had that in Saudi Arabia last year, but apparently not. So it's been revealed an additional date when it will take place. According to Body Slam, Cassie Hayes, WWE is bringing back Night of Champions in the country later this year. Hayes reported that PLE will take place Saturday, June 28th. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I just gotta look at their schedule. Sorry, www.wwe. Okay, I know they probably ain't gonna announce it yet, but they may announce it, sometime this week. Um, but yeah, Saturday you gotta go to the chickens, and normally you should say they should have, WWE schedule, something like that. So yeah, they're it's like seems like most of their summer schedule is like really set. So let me see. June. Wait, 23rd. Yeah, they didn't. They don't have anything on June 28th. So I guess that makes sense. Since they didn't have anything like June 28th, so most likely, let's see. I think Grand Rapids, Michigan, or let's see, yeah, Grand Rapids, Michigan, are gonna have a double dose of Friday Night SmackDown. So for those who's watching, that's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I will tell my friend this too. They will have like a double episode of SmackDown, so two episodes of SmackDown, one live and one being pre-recorded. So I guess that kind of makes sense. And Night of Champions, I would not think they was going to actually, bring that back. But, and plus, they take care of, what they wanted to do, with Saudi Arabia. So, why not? Um, let's see. July they officially don't have, what they're going to do with Saturday night's main event yet. So, possibility, they may have it here in Milwaukee. So that's probably, for, not using Money in the Bank. So why not, Saturday night main event here. Maybe like like an NXT PLE, and people here would be satisfied. But you got to put something in there because normally you have like Milwaukee shows, here like twice a year, and if you're gonna end up doing like the U-turn and be like, okay, we're just gonna have it once a year, you have a lot of people upset. Especially like wrestling fans, okay, you only do one. So that is the only option I can see that they may do you know Saturday night's main event here, then probably do maybe a PLE, or they'll just do Saturday night's main event. So either way, it will be good. because we know they're gonna have to do one July 12th on a Saturday. 13th they can do the NXT PLE, maybe the Great American Bash. So that'd be something. And, that would at least calm some people before the storm, especially like if you doing something like that. So like I said, most of July and might as well say most of August are already set. And you got a little bit, October. Oh, there we go. They officially posted, Crown Jewel in, Perth, Australia. Then of course, Perth on Washington, Perth, Australia for Raw. So 3 out of the 4 days, you're gonna have WWE stars like come there. Yeah. Um, yeah. The sad thing is that we were due for Survivor Series if we wasn't gonna get no Money in the Bank, but unfortunately that didn't happen either. And I guess they said San Diego was crying about it, and they end up, getting it. And I think probably another issue is because I don't think they will want to have, Survivor Series here in the fall, where it could be cold. And I think they haven't officially done with like winterizing American Family Field yet. So that's really, they. So in a way, I'm like 50-50 and something like that. But I really hate LA from, I don't know. I just hate these like these big market cities that and they don't show no respect for some of these small market cities. I really don't understand it. But so hopefully they had something in July, then suddenly maybe a Raw or SmackDown like in the fall, um, probably in December, then have something in July, Saturday Night Main Event. So that'd be something. Or NXT PLE, you never know. But yeah, there was one thing I forgot to do, so I just reminded myself. So let's see, Google Drive. Oops, go back. Go back. That's not what I was looking for. There we go. Because I think I didn't update. I would have to move. I would have to change this. Yeah, because there would be a few things I would have to change. So we already know they're gonna have a pay per view in October, and they probably gonna have nothing in September. Just gonna be that full empty month. And okay. So let me just get rid of this one. So we already know what October is going to be. So let's change this. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can find those dates. Okay, Saturday, October 11th. Okay. October 11th. Oops. Yeah, October, not October. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. So that one is official. Like I said, with this other report, let's see. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, Saudi Arabia will only host one WWE event this year, but will host 3 events next year. We already know one of them will be the Royal Rumble. We know that one. So, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Like, who's the other two is gonna be like that they're gonna run. Oh, that's cool. That's one of our WFSO crew. Mike, that's his favorite wrestler, The Undertaker. But okay, so sorry guys, hold on. Let's see, Saudi Arabia. Save that. Okay. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Night. Night of Champions. Okay. Saudi Arabia. Hello there. June 28th. We'll just put that right now as a question mark. It's not official. So, the evolution thing that they're trying to do. Let's see. Let's look back on that because I don't think they got that full date set, do they? No, they don't. Because they didn't got, where SmackDown's going to be, in July 3rd. They didn't officially, say that yet. So I'll be pretty shocked, they end up having, freaking SmackDown, here. I'm about to say, ain't y'all a little late to mention that here? So, there's a possibility, they will have, if it be weird, but they'll have SmackDown here, then end up, had to go to, in Connecticut for the All Women's pay per view. But then again, like all the guys ain't gonna be used. So all the fellas, if whenever they do like SmackDown with the SmackDown brand, they just get to go home afterwards. But you're gonna have the ladies have to like fly to Connecticut for like Evolution. But then again, you might have a few of the male wrestlers there, just maybe just being there to show support. So sorry. So that's could be something. Sorry guys, let me just move this up. So we have, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's coming up this Saturday too, Backlash. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pay-per-views. We still not sure about, the Ruthless Aggression one that's supposed to be in Boston, so that's still not confirmed. So just only like 3 PLEs that's not confirmed yet. That's the Night of Champions, although, it's out there, but they're probably going to announce it sooner or later. Then you got the Evolution All Women's pay-per-view. So you know what? Yeah, why not? And like I said, there's some stuff that we don't know when it's come to NXT PLEs. Normally they have their special events, so right now we can get rid of that spring break-in, which did not happen at all. But of course, Battleground is going to be in Tampa, Florida. Well, we still don't know what they're going to do with Heatwave. They're still going to do that, but I think that it's not going to happen, and it's probably going to be like an NXT Worlds Collide. So that probably going to end up by moving back like up to here. So as soon as we get get the whole story, we will know. But then again, they're going to do the Great American Bash. So that may still be here. You never know. I don't know. I'm not gonna officially like move Heatwave yet until we know more further. Then they got No Mercy in September, Halloween Havoc in October, and deadline would be December. So if not have anything in the summer, maybe they will have something in the fall for here. Then again, we got the venue that's gonna be done by the fall. So maybe, they might want to take a stab at, trying to see how the crowd would be if they use that new event. Or it could be possible, AEW may want to use that event. I mean, that venue. Because, they're not really, like, selling out in the Panther Arena, although it's like, I think it's like you're like the 8,000 people because how their stage and stuff set up. So it's probably going to end up being you can fit up to 8,000 people into the Panther Arena. So that's probably why they still use it. But yeah, the crowd in March was a little bit it was a little bit better than what it was in September. So it's like one of those things, wait and see. So we really don't know, what's gonna go on, with if they do like a special show in May. Well, the only thing they did in April, of course, was they did NXT in Vegas. So and like I said, July 12th, is supposed to be due for another Saturday night main event. Then maybe like in December there's one due too. Until we know they re-signed the deal, showing it on NBC. We never know. But okay, let me close this one, and I think we're good about talking about wrestling. But yeah, okay, so they officially will announce it. Okay, so they might announce it this week, so that's a possibility. So we'll see. But I think that's probably pretty much a wrestling that we're gonna talk about. Like I said, I wasn't trying to make this like this long. Of course, you got this situation, with because we're talking about the Bucks now. So now you got this situation with Giannis will ask for a trade request, which I don't think he's gonna ask for a trade request because he already said that he's not gonna ask for a trade request. He's like, you're gonna have to get rid of me. But I know they're gonna talk to Giannis like very soon, and plus all the current players just to see where they at and what they can like if they want to keep him or whatever they do like their future and stuff like that. But they can't negotiate, but they can talk to him about their future. They just can't do any negotiations or anything like that because they gotta wait until the free agency. But then again, they can still talk until the end of the playoffs. So yeah, we already know Damian Lillard is not going to be playing for probably majority of next season. Um, but let's see. Paul Pierce has advice for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So let's read what this goof has said. Yeah, because many media personalities have weighed on the stipulation, and they all want them, including some of these YouTubers, claim that he should leave. There are a few of them that are saying that he shouldn't, but like if he does, then try to do this, do that. So that I can understand. And there's other like Bucks tubers like myself, and few others is like, oh, you know what? No, don't trade Giannis. Like work with him. Like try to see what you can do. Like you be off the books with Brooks, so you will have some money available. If you decide not to re-sign him, or if certain players decide not to resign, not resign, but don't take their player option because they think they can get more money. One of the things I hope Kevin Porter Jr. Take his player option, stay with the team, like prove himself like for the full year, and after that renegotiate. But Gary Trent Jr. he deserved a little bit more of a payday. He really does. Took the $2 million deal just to bet on himself. Yeah. he's owed a payday, and hopefully, the Bucks will give him at least something that's enough, for him to say like, okay, well, I'll stay. Um, because I know he feel bad, about causing, for them to like lose the series with that turnover. But no, hopefully, let's see. Many okay, we already read that. So what did they say? Okay, Giannis is 30, so he still got 7 more good years. It gotta be it's gotta be some difficult conversation between him and the owner. The marriage is over. Well, you shouldn't be talking peers. Pierce pointed to next season's specifically that one particular dismissal outlook due to the lack of draft access and the health of his co-star Damian Lillard. Of course, you probably would do something like that, but you ended up staying in Boston until they traded you. You can already access that next year. Probably going to be the same thing because it ain't getting no better. And Dame's hurt. And either if he comes back and say like that's a year, so he might not be even playing next year. Pierce went on to say that the split should be welcomed by the Bucks organization. He recommended that Giannis be gentle with his request and exit, and that the organization owes it to him to honor such wishes. Okay, there's a difference. Like, that's, players that's in America, they will talk like that just, because, I wouldn't say, because, when they get to that age, they'll be championship or like ring chasing for some of them. That's probably what it is. Some of them probably be like ring chasing. But the thing that changed now that, if he end up staying, with the team, with his like player option, say he takes it or he don't take it, they can actually, re-sign him for like a bigger offer, which I think he probably will be he deserves. But I don't think he ain't gonna have that much of a change. I just think he's just gonna get a little bit better. So maybe, probably when he gets like maybe 36, 37, maybe like the dropping point, I can understand that. But the man is 30. He will be fine for the next few years. So yeah, they really gonna talk to him. And plus, Giannis, won the championship with the Bucks. So it's like one of those things. Of course, you want to win another one. Like everybody will want to win another one. So that's not a given. Because everybody and their daddy, whoever played for the NBA, they're gonna want another ring. So But then again, like with Giannis and the Bucks, he already submitted his legacy and he will have his jersey retired. But I do not think that he's going to leave. Like I said, Giannis has still given no signs that he intends to request a trade or otherwise force his way out of the Cream City. While the media will pull apart or misquote any of everything said by him, the reality is that there is none concrete suggesting Giannis is done with Milwaukee. That being said, an objective assessment of the situation does lead to many think Antetokounmpo will be better off elsewhere in terms of winning his second championship. Miracle things can happen, and I don't think that there's some these analysts and YouTubers and stuff like that don't realize there is miracles. Anything can happen. Bucks they do got a second round pick on this year's NBA draft. You never know how that's going to come out. Unless we don't know what the office is going to be thinking in the near future. Like, they probably going to build around that. But, and plus, the two oldest players they have is Damian Lillard and Brook Lopez. And they know, like, they was getting old. So, that's why, they did a few trades that they did. You want to get a little bit more younger. But, I can understand that. And, oh, yeah, I forgot about Pat Connaughton, too. So, yeah, Pat Connaughton is another one, up there in age. So they got 3 players right now, that's that's past 30. Well, you got Bobby and Giannis that's like 30 years old, and Giannis ain't gonna be 31 until December. Then Bobby, I think he ain't gonna be 31 until I think sometime either February or March. I think his birthday is like around February or March. I'm not sure. But there's things that can be done. Like I said, even they try to trade Damian Lillard, which I think they won't. Nobody's gonna take him. But maybe NBA will probably give Bucks a little bit of a leeway because of that injury. Because they did it with certain teams before. I know they did. It's like one of those things. The next man stepped up and see what some of these players like do in the off season. But my opinion, I think what the Bucks really need, they need like another center. Hopefully they keep Jericho Sims, which they got bird rights to, and they can sign him to like any deal they want that's higher than what he has. So Bucks do got bird rights on Jericho Sims. So they got to keep him around, especially like whether they decide do that lineup. Although they can do the lineup of Giannis and Bobby Portis for the starting lineup if they decide not to bring back Brooke. Had Jericho Sims as the backup big. Then you also have finally if they finally use like Tyler Smith. I don't know what how his height is, how true it is, because some people saying that he's 6'9". Then you got other things that saying that he's 6'11". So just from the look of it, he looked like he's like maybe he's nearly 6'11". But that's just me. But then again, you got another big person of Kyle Kuzma, which I know everybody's gonna be hating on him. But it's like, oh, he sucks. Blah 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 blah. The guy's 29 and can still be worked on. So I don't think he's really at his prime yet. But I think a year or two he will get there. And plus, that's another guy that won a championship with the Lakers. So they probably will gonna end up pushing him as the second option. Maybe work it out. Then who's gonna step up and be that third option? If they decide to start Bobby could be that third option. Or they end up starting Gary Trent Jr. Maybe he can be that third option. You never know. Or he can be that second option. You never know. You got maybe Kevin Porter Jr. If he end up starting at the point guard position, there's your fourth option. So because that lineup, they show that lineup that ended up pretty good when they played the Pacers in Game 5 this past Tuesday. They showed they can do good, but it's just like you got to figure out like some of your bench. So I think you mostly took like all your scoring from the bench and put them in the start lineup. Because what you got like bench, Jericho Sims, he probably won't score that much unless they feed on the ball and with alley hoops or something like that. So I like that Kevin Porter Jr. and that Jericho Sims connection. So that was good. But it's like what you gonna do with your other players? Where you decide you're gonna put Kyle Kuzma like in the starting lineup and just have and try to work with your bench. Torian Prince, like I said, he's had a good start and a good middle of the season, but it just like after that, it was just end of the season, it was just no good, and he just really kind of folded. So I don't think the Bucks will re-sign him. They probably would just let him go. So you kind of really got rid of your scoring off the bench. Like probably the only thing you can probably do is oh god, that's gonna be hard. So they're gonna have to like refocus on their bench. If they actually gonna start Kevin Porter Jr. and Gary Trent, they got to refocus on their bench, or give some of the young players like the time to actually play. So and plus, like I said, they got that second round pick. It's the 47th pick of the second round. So they got that. So possibly they can use that for maybe get a true point guard that can pass first and be like a facilitator. They can do that, or they can get like a center that can can run with can run with them, like can do the same thing as Brooke Lopez can, but actually he can actually keep up. Like you don't got that with Jericho Sims, but you got he can run and keep up and defend and block, but not a good 3 point shooter. I don't think he had made any attempts at the three, but he don't make no attempts. Try to post up game or the ball or anything like that. So that's what I think. If they keep Jericho Sims, they should work on that more. Have him be in like a post up game, take it in and work with Kyle Kuzma. Have him not be afraid. To take the ball in when he does and like just shoot everything. Like just gotta be a little bit patient because I think he is too fast. He may be one of the fastest people on the team. I know saying that is kind of crazy, but that's just what I see. But truth matter is, I don't think Giannis ain't gonna go nowhere. He got 2 more seasons yet left, plus a player option. Damian Lillard, of course, he got this coming season, but he's not gonna play it, probably most of it. But he has a player option, so he can be like, I tried and it's not working. I'm just gonna, just say forget it. I'm gonna opt out my player option, and whatever. Probably go to somewhere better where he can win like a championship ring. That can use him as, I will say, maybe like a third option if another team decide to like get him, have him as a third option of a championship team, third or fourth. Because I'm not saying anything bad because the first 2 seasons that the Bucks have on them, he done pretty great. And of course, with the playoffs last year, he did great too. But it's just like certain games, you just kind of puzzle yourself. You seem to see an average, which is good, but just some of his plays, you just see it's just like, what's going on? And although he still, got that, connection with Giannis, with passing to Giannis and stuff like that, and Giannis vice versa, like they got that connection right. But I think Dame, I know they were saying, the coach was saying, Dame got to be Dame, but I don't think it's working anymore. And plus, Damian Lillard is not that young as he is. Like I said, last season I gave it a pass because he got to get used to the team, and plus, he had a lot of good games, and this past season it was almost the same. But there was times that he was out and just certain games that you thought he'd be great on, they just can't, and they know how to defend him. So it's like if you know how to defend both Giannis and Dame, it's like who's going to step up? Well, you got like Gary Trent Jr. So like I said, hopefully they do like give him like a bigger contract and stuff like that to keep him. I guess we'll see in the off season, which will be early July. I think it's June. I think it's Okay, so while I'm on this, let me look at that. So I know normally I said I think it was gonna be a short show, and I don't have much to talk about, but apparently I do. When is the 2025 NBA free? No. Agency. Okay, there we go. When is NBA free agency 2025? Okay, so they keeping it the same thing as last year, June 30th. But it will start a little bit earlier than usual. Normally they'll do like, it'll start like in July, like at it'll be, what does it be, like it'll be 11 p.m. in New York, be 10 p.m. here, 9 and 8 o'clock, on the West Coast. So they doing it a little bit early this year. I know they kind of did it a little bit last year, but I think they did it, what was like 7 or 8 or something like that. But this time it's gonna be June 30th, 6 p.m. Eastern, so it'll be 5 p.m. here, and that can give some people start to be like set up like conversation, have dinner with the free agents you want. So yeah, it's like you can start negotiating June 30th, or they can come to an agreement. Then they can sign with them. 7 days later. This is July 6th at 12:01 p.m. Eastern, which will be 11:01 here. So that's good. Okay, then we'll do NBA free agents. Free agents. Yeah, 2025 list. Let's do that. I thought Kyrie Irving got a player option. Um, Miles Turner, of course, he is. He probably gonna stay with the Pacers. Clint Capella. I don't even know if the Bucks should go after Clint Capella. That's possible. Al Horford, of course, he probably gonna stay maybe one more year with Boston. LeBron James got a player option. Jimmy Butler, I think he has a player option. Russell Westbrook, yeah, he'll be a free agent. Julius Randle will have yeah, will be a free agent, and Ben Simmons, which is gonna be hard to say that because if somebody end up getting Ben Simmons, he's not gonna get paid as much as he would, because there's Philadelphia had high hopes for him, and same thing with Brooklyn. So Brooklyn let him go, and I think they either traded him or they just let him go, and Ben Simmons ended up signing on with the Clippers. So let's see, show more, because I know there's more than just these free agents. Let's see, Jonathan Kuminga, okay, Seth Curry. Oh, he'll be another person that the Bucks can get, like give him away from Charlotte. Mason Plumlee. I know the Bucks had him once before. Malcolm Brogdon. Maybe they can bring him back, and he'll be that point guard that they need. Deshaun Tate. Let's see. I know there's more. Oh yeah. I forgot about ESPN. Does have that free agent team. But yeah, I'm click that off and like the Bucks talk. Let's see. Atlanta. Garrison Matthews, great shooter. Karis LeVert, which they did get in the trade. Clint Capella, of course, we mentioned. Dominique Barlow must be like his second year or something like that. Team option. And Keaton Wallace and Jacob Toppin is restricted. Now talk about 2026. 2025 for Boston. Torrey Craig, and we mentioned Al Harford. Luke Cornett. Boston will probably keep him in a cheap deal. Drew Peterson, J.G. Davidson, restricted and team option. You never know. But yeah, Kristaps Porzingis will be free agent in 2026. But they already have rumors that they may end up try to cut some money down. So I guess the two people that they claiming that they pointed at is Drew Holiday and also Kristaps Porzingis. So it's like one of those things. Like we mentioned this, that they won't be able to keep all those players for long, because they're gonna end up paying more money, and they'll be like in the So now they did this being this second tier. So. And I think nobody doesn't want to be on the second tier. I think everybody got out of the second tier this season after the trade deadline, I believe. Brooklyn Nets, Keon Johnson team option, Tyrese Martin on team option, D'Anthony Mellon, D'Angelo Russell, which I think Brooklyn may sign them back because they were a little bit better in the second half of the season with him. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna keep D'Angelo Russell. Devon Sharp, restricted. They'll keep him. Cam Thomas, they'll keep him. They did added, Drew Timmy, the last 3-4 weeks of the NBA season. So they probably will keep him. And always liked him, and especially when I saw him play like in summer league with the Bucks. Was it last year or the year before? But Bucks made a big mistake, letting him go. But What more can you do? Because they just traded him, and last season, their G League team traded him. So I'm still stunned on that one. I just don't know why. Trendon Walfer. Okay, a lot of these players: Zaire Williams, Jalen Winslow, Tyson Efnin, Reed Beckham, okay, restricted in team options, and Cam Thomas is restricted. Oh yeah, they really need to keep him because that could be their number two option if they're gonna make D'Angelo Russell their number one option. So they just need to get the third option and a good scoring bench. As we mentioned, with Charlotte, Seth Curry, Taj Gibson, Trey Mann will be restricted. They might keep him. Wendell Moore Jr. Yeah, don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot they got Jefferson Nurkic with the But I thought they gave Phoenix back that trade because Phoenix was trying to go for Okay, now this is kind of weird. I'm sorry, but like I said, we ain't focused on 2026. But just saw that that was kind of weird. Javon Carter, former Buck, player option. He might stay because Chicago is his hometown, so why not? Josh Giddey would be restricted, so I think they liked him, so I think he's going to stay. And plus, the Bulls was in the play-in this year, so of course they're going to keep him. Tendon Horton Tucker, I think they're going to keep him. Trey Jones, Manuel Miller restricted, and EJ Liddell restricted, so it's possible they might keep them. You never know. But yeah, they're going to have a busy 2026. Okay, for Cleveland, Ty Jerome, Javon Green, Sam Merrill, former Buck, and Tristan Thompson will be free agents. I think Tristan Thompson will probably end up playing, one more year. Because he did, win a championship with Cleveland when he was there. So, if Cleveland ended up winning it this year, why not stay for one more year? So, like I said, NBA Finals will probably end up being between Cleveland and the Thunder. Cleveland Cavaliers and Oklahoma City Thunder. So, that's just my pick. And like I said, I didn't expect the Bucks to get to. I think they was going to get no farther than the Eastern Conference Finals. So, but yeah, although I picked Cleveland and they were probably going to face them in the second round, I know that's kind of weird, but yeah, Cleveland and Oklahoma City for the NBA Finals. Which is good because it'll be there. It'll be Cleveland second if they win it. It'll be Oklahoma City Thunder's first, although they did count them as a Seattle. But then again, that's going to change when Seattle gets their team for the next few years. So now reading about the other ones. Dallas, Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah, Bucks may sign him. It'll be like that point guard that they probably need, and maybe kind of past point guard too. So Dante Exum, another one. As I knew it, Kyrie Irving does have a player option. Dwight Powell has a player option. Keisha Edwards restricted, and Kyle Jones is a free agent. So I think Dallas will be back better than ever, especially they still going to have Anthony Davis. If they keep Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson, I think they'll be just fine. Denver, Viaco Kankar, then DeAndre Jordan. I think he might be just done. That's just my opinion, but they probably not. Dario Sarius player option. He might just let it go. Russell Westbrook. Oh, he had a player option. He'll probably stay. Trey Alexander is restricted. PJ Hall restricted. And Spencer Jones is restricted. Okay. Detroit. I think they might have a little bit of work to do. Malik Beasley. He may be there or he may be not. Tim Hardaway Jr. He may stay. May want to stay. Paul Reed. Another center that's out there that we were supposed to get, but Detroit ended up not signing him in free agency in the middle of the year. Dennis Schroeder, another person that probably we can pick up as as either a starting point guard or a backup point guard. They got Landy Waters third, and then C Jenkins, all their free agents. Okay. Golden State Warriors. Okay, Kaminga, of course, is a restricted free agent kind of figure. Raston Key, Kevin Knox the second, whereas they really did not use him. Gary Payton the second. Okay, he's a free agent. Kevon Looney, another free agent. Maybe something the Bucks can go after and be good for, like, bring a hometown hero back, because he did one. Like, I think he won 3 rings with Golden State so far. So yeah, why not? Quentin Post team, Jerry Santos team, Terry Armstrong, unrestricted, and Pat Spencer. Okay, yeah, 2026 for off season for Golden State is gonna be interesting. Houston Rockets, Steven Adams. I didn't know they had Jeff Green still. Okay. Aaron Holiday would be a team option. John Tate. Okay, so Fred Van Vliet, team option. Yeah. Houston is going to keep him. That, I guarantee that Houston is going to keep him. Jack Neve and Neferi Dante are both restricted. Okay, now let's go to Indiana. We already knew about Miles Turner going to be a free agent. James Johnson, Isaiah Jackson will be restricted. Thomas Bryant is a free agent. Tony Bradley is a team option. Then you got Quentin Jackson and Enrique Freeman restricted, which I did not see them play that much. James Johnson didn't play that much, so he's probably not going to be there. Okay, so. Uh-oh. Can't believe. Why did it end? They didn't even give me a warning. Sorry, guys. Let me try to fix this moment. That was really, really unsuspected. Sorry, guys. Just give me a moment here. Feel sorry for the people that was watching live. And there goes that. So let me see if I can actually try to do something to get this going. Because it didn't mention that I was, like, running low. But like I said, I was running back and forth, and, like, they didn't mention that. Let me see if I can try to get back to it. So, I think these other two for, like, Twitch is good so far. Yeah, that's insane. I don't care, you're fully charged, so not fully charged, but at least you're plugged up, so should be fine. So sorry about this, guys. So I thought, like, this phone was fully charged, but then again, I didn't know it was, like, eat some batteries. So then again, I hate this phone. The other phone I got is a government phone, and sometimes certain government phones are useless than anything. So probably sometime next month I probably move on to probably get a different phone for same length, at least something a little bit better. Although it's all connected to trap phone, we know that. Just horrible. Okay. So, okay, 1% good enough. Go back to what we were. Yeah. Come on. Like I said, guys, this was not planned. And like I said, I don't plan, going this long, but, end up having something to talk about, and, you just want to, blah, blah, blah about it. Let's see if I can, like, kick off where I left off. Let's see. Could I? Oh, yes, I can. Resume. Good. Resume. So let's give this a second, y'all. Are you kidding me? You're plugged in and should be no problems. I'm sorry, guys. They're gonna make me end up just saying like, just do my other phone for YouTube and just do this one as one to Twitch. I might just do that because as you can see, this right here on Twitch lasting longer than this phone, and this is was like at the time charger it was like 80%, and you can see that it's still going. Like I said, this phone is a piece of crap. %. Now let's try again. Okay, you're charging. You're 3%. You should be fine as long as you're charging. Now, come on. Now it wants to hack up. And that's crazy. It's like gonna be midnight and we still gonna be like still talking. So that's crazy. So, for people that's on live, I understand if you want to like get tired and you want to just like get off, I can understand. I'm still gonna continue like with the recording, and I'm just trying to get back on live on here. Yes. Unlocked. I don't understand this at all. Why is it not maybe see if I can do something. Let's see. I still can't touch it. Okay, let me turn this off. Let's see, restart it. It is crazy. I can't even. Yeah, this phone gotta go. I'm trying to unlock. Okay. Oh, that sucks. So, you know what? For guys that's watching on WFSO, transfer to WFSO 2 and just watch everything from there. Because I'm gonna like end this one and just switch it to like YouTube and continue on from there. So I appreciate you guys. Please keep following us on Twitch. So let me get this situated and just transfer yourself to WFSO 2 and just watch the rest of this show there. So once again, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, let me switch. Look at that, 64%. I've just been on 2 hours. Let's see. Go to YouTube. Maybe I can continue on from there. So, although the scenery is gonna look so much different. Let's see. Can I resume? Crap! It won't let me resume. So, let me try something. Let's see videos. Live. God, it's not even. Sorry, that's not what I want. But it's not what I want. Oh, you guys, okay. Go to live. Oh God, I'm sorry. I didn't know that stopped. So apologize for that. People that's watching the pre-recorded episode. WFSO aftermath. I'll just say live. Part 2. And let's just say now today's the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So all you Latinos and Latinas, happy Cinco de Mayo. I know it's like kind of like a Mexican thing, but just in case, you know. I know this is gonna be a little bit different, especially seeing like a different point of view. So like I said, guys, we apologize for that. I didn't think the phone was gonna like actually, cut off because it didn't give me no signals or anything that it was like this much percent. Otherwise, I would have done something sooner. So I told everybody that was watching on WFSO on Twitch, switch to WFSO 2, and they can just watch everything on WFSO 2. Oh yeah, kind of weird. Anyways, we're gonna get back to what we were talking about, and like I said, this is part 2, and I think they might not even show part 1 because, like I said, I tried with this phone, and it just suddenly, just kicked me out. So, and just like I can't even touch this phone. Long press the power key for at least 11 seconds to reboot. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It didn't even reboot. I can't even touch this phone at all. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. And plus, oh, sorry. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Let's see. I'm gonna try to hurry this up as quick as I can. Clippers, like I said, James Harden and Nicholas Batum, player option, Patty Mills and Ben Simmons and Amir Coffey, they're free agents, and Trenton Flowers is restricted. I think, James Harden may end up, taking his player option, and I think Nicholas Batum will as well. It's just what they're going to do with the rest of them. Who knows? Because I know they're going to want to end up getting better. Dory Finney-Smith, Lakers player option. Jordan Goodwin, team option. Jackson Hayes, a free agent. Alex Len, which they did not really use. I don't know why they got him if they wasn't going to use him that much. Marquise Morris and Christian Kanoko, restricted. And of course, LeBron James, player option, which he probably will accept. Let's see. Memphis, Luke Kennard, Lamar Stevens, and Martin Bagley III. Them probably be the only important ones. The other three that's like restricted, they might either just let them go or just whatever. Let's see. 2025. Okay. Alec Burke, of course, free agent. Josh Christopher, and really the rest of their players is like Team Davion Mitchell, restricted. Duncan Robinson has an early termination option, so if he wanted like to say forget it, he can just go on and probably move on from another team. He probably can do that. Okay. Well, we already know about Milwaukee's situation. We already talked about that. So, like I said, Kevin Porter Jr., Bobby Portis, and Cat Connaughton, the only three that got player options. The rest of them, like Brook Lopez, like I said, he can kick rocks. Torian Prince, he can kick rocks. Ryan Rollins, maybe they could like a friendly team deal just to prove himself more, because I don't. It's either like he just didn't play enough, or like I said, with Doc Rivers and like messing with his numbers, that's a possibility why he wasn't doing so good like late in the season. But maybe give him like on a friendly deal, so he can like prove himself. Jericho Sims, like I said, they got bird rights to him. They can actually sign him to what amount of contract they want. Gary Trent Jr. Yeah, they need to pay him. Stanley Umi, yeah, because he was a two-way player, so they might even just let him go and just sign like another two-way player. Okay, of course with Pete Nance did sign a two-way, so he's gonna be with them next season. Jamie Borea probably would be restricted because he joined the team like late this season. And like I said, Damian Lillard got a player option. Andre Jackson Jr. team option, and I hope they keep him and he probably will work out more this season. Chris Livingston team option too. He's showing some improvements, so we'll see. Okay, Minnesota. The guy Sutter Walker, Luca Garza team option. They didn't even use him that much. Nas Reed, which I think they're going to keep him. He might stay with player option. Julius Randle player option too, but I think Minnesota wants to get away from that. Joe Ingles free agent. He might resign with them. Bose Highland maybe stay with them. We'll see. Okay, the Pelicans. Bruce Brown's free agent. Effer Payton. Although they got him in the late all season. Jamiah Robinson Earl, but you got Brandon Boston, Jamal Cain, and Keon Brooks. With Brandon with team and Keon and Jamal restricted, so it could be a possibility. They might let them go. As for the Knicks, PJ Tucker might stay, although he hasn't played none since he was with the Knicks. Deron Wright, they may let him go. Cameron Payne, I think they're gonna keep him because you saw, they re-signed him this past season. Precious Achua, I think they will re-sign him. Maja Beauchamp, most likely they probably will let him go. As for the restricted Antoine Kevin, they may keep him, but it's probably gonna be like a low price. Okay, the Thunder. Not anybody big, but Jalen Williams. It's probably be the only one they probably be worried about, but that's the team option, so most likely they will keep that. Other players, they can do whatever they want. Orlando, Gary Harris, team option. Caleb Houston, team option. Corey Joseph, team option. Marcus Wagner, team option. So Corey Joseph, Gary Harris, and Mochans Wagner, they'll probably will keep. Although they didn't use Mac McClung, but he's restricted. But they just need to use him more. That's just my opinion. Okay, 76ers. Kyle Lowry, free agent. He might be done. Andre Drummond, player option. So he might gonna stay with them. Justin Edwards, team option. Eric Gore, player option. He'll probably will stay. Quentin Grimes, restricted. So they will keep him. Kerry Oubre Jr., player option, he'll probably will stay. Lonnie Walker IV, team option, so I think they're going to keep him. Gerson Yabusele, they'll probably keep him. Jeff Downton Jr., Downton Jr., sorry, restricted, so they might end up keeping him, or they might just let him go. Jalen Hood Safino, they probably will keep him. Okay, Phoenix. One of the players that the Bucks should go for, Bobo. Why not? Okay, Tyrus Jones. They do need like a point guard, which was one of their issues. Last season having freaking Bradley Beal be point, and it just didn't work out. So Damian Lee, they might keep. Vijay Minik, team option, they might keep him. Monte Morris, I think they will keep. Mason Plumlee, well, it's like 50-50 on that. Colin Grips and Jalen Bridges, restricted, and Ty Washington Jr., former Buck, they might just end up letting them go because they really didn't use them that much. And yeah, in 2026, yeah, they got a lot to worry about. They got Bradley Beal, team option, and Kevin Durant will be a free agent. Nick Richards will be a free agent, and Cody Martin. Okay, Portland. Matisse, Sharp Blue, they might end up keeping him, but player option he might stay. Jabari Walker, they might keep him. The rest of them, who knows what's going to happen? They might either let him go or just keep him. Sacramento Kings. Yeah, they're gonna let Jay Carter go. Keon Ellis, they're gonna keep. Markel Folks, I don't know, maybe. Um, Isaac Jones, maybe. Jake Navaria, maybe. Trey Lyles, yeah, they'll keep him. Doug McDermott, may end up calling it a career. But Mason Jones, Isaiah Crawford is restricted. I don't know what they're gonna do. Okay, Spurs. Charles Baisley, don't know. Bismack Biombo, I'm surprised that he was on there, but I didn't hear nothing about him playing much. So free agent, Sandro Manovitzky, sorry, I can never pronounce his name. Ever since he's been in the Bucks, I can never pronounce his name. So a team will go after him. They really will. After he played great the second half of the season, a team will probably go after him, and Bucks should have never let him go. But what more can you do? Chris Paul, he's gonna play like one more year. Either Spurs keep him or he'll probably go somewhere else. Um, David Duke, Harrison Ingram, and Riley Minix. We who knows what they're gonna do with him. But anyways, okay, Toronto Raptors. Okay, they ain't got much to worry about. Chris Boucher and Garrett Temple. They might end up keeping them both. So probably them two I don't see going anywhere. Utah, John Collins, okay, player options, so they might have some issues with that. Mika Porter, Oscar Trishebi, restricted, but they can do whatever they want with them. And the Wizards, Malcolm Brogdon, free agent. I know he's been like hurt for like most of the season, so um, they may keep him or leave him. Who knows? But I think he's from DC anyway, so his own town, so he might end up staying. Chris Middleton, of course he's gonna keep his player option because nobody ain't gonna pay him, so most likely he's gonna get his player option. Tristan Vugler gets restricted and TG Thor restricted, so they might end up staying. So that's it for that, and Wizards will be a different team. They might be the team that may be involved in the play-in next season. Maybe not playoffs, but then again, they can be a shocker and shock everybody. But Wizards will be a different team, and they probably gonna end up being some teams that you're gonna be unexpectedly be like, what? So yeah, watch out for the Wizards. So it ain't because I'm saying they got Chris Middleton, but they got like a decent lineup, especially with Alex Zar maybe improving. Jordan Poole, they got him for a while, so he's probably not gonna go anywhere. Um, okay, that sucks. Phone's still messing up. So and plus they got a good draft this year, so they probably end up being like in the top three. It'd be cool, they get the number one pick. They already wait. Let me see. Atlanta had the number one pick, and Washington had the number two pick. So yeah, so wouldn't be surprised Washington end up getting the number one pick. I think it's about time for them, and they probably do need it. So that's just me, and I think like I said, they're gonna be a different team this coming season. So it's like one of those teams you're gonna have to watch out for. Toronto as well. Utah maybe. Portland, you probably gotta watch out for them. So there are gonna be some surprising teams in this upcoming season. So it's like one of those wait and see. So we'll see. If Bucks get like at least like some maybe few of these players, they may be set. But that's just me. Enough Bucks talk, and let's talk about where is it? They might updated it, so let's see. Okay, let's see if they actually updated that. Okay, Thunderbolts rose to 162 million global open. So, okay, it's not really the official number But I think the 86.1 million for the wait a minute. Oh, that's 86.1 million from international box. Worldwide, they say it was about like 73 million, I believe. Although it looked like a slow start for Thunderbolts for the Thursday and Friday, but the weekend, it probably really really picked up. Um, of course, they said Minecraft is like nears like 900 million worldwide, and I'm just surprised at that because I don't like Minecraft, and I don't know why some people get into it, but that's their thing. And it was Mother said Minecraft was the most surprising movie that did good, and you're thinking it wasn't. Sinners, another good movie. I didn't see it yet, but I'll say if you're interested in like vampires, that would be your movie, and like it's doing good so far. So let me look at Deadline and see if they finally updated the final numbers of this. So it might just be a moment, and it looked like it's kind of froze. Okay, hold on. Let me say they finally updated. Okay, so I think they did. So let's go to it and let's see if they finally did update it. So let's look at the date. No, they didn't update it. But yeah, it seemed like most likely so mainly okay, it made 76 million in the United States, which is not that bad of an opening for like 76 million, but it done almost 90 million worldwide. So that's they got that total of 162.1 million. So probably sometime tomorrow they probably will have the official numbers. Since I thought they probably refresh and update it, which they didn't. This is like projected numbers, but you never know. Some people might come in the last minute and decide buy a ticket and watch it. So yeah, and plus I'm going to do my full review on the Thunderbolts tomorrow, and let's just say it is a movie that is worth seeing again. So I'm probably gonna set something up. Probably not this coming weekend. Well, this coming week, but next week, maybe on Tuesday, I will actually go see it again.